In the headlines, INEC chairman holds meeting with Rex, promises to use BVAS in governorship and House of Assembly elections. Police parade suspected electoral offenders in Cross River. Troops neutralize bandit, rescue 14 kidnapped victims in Kaduna. And on the foreign scene, Rwanda says Democratic Republic of Congo soldier killed after crossing border and opening fire. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. We begin with electoral matters, where the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Mahmoud Yakubu, has assured Nigerians that the Bimodal Voter Accreditation System, BVAS, will be used in the forthcoming governorship and state legislature elections. Yakubu gave the promise on Saturday at a meeting with all the residents, electoral commissioners at an INEC headquarters in Abuja. According to him, the BVAS machines will be used for the elections, though the devices are being worked on to avoid a repeat of the glitches recorded with the last Saturday's elections. He said the meeting is to review performances at last week's elections, adding that there are lessons to be learned from the process, especially as it relates to logistics management. He urged the Rex to work towards ensuring that the governorship elections do not experience the same glitches recorded in the last elections, while calling for disciplining of staff who err. Now, one of the issues that characterized the 2023 presidential election across the nation is that of low voter turnout. As a result, only 8.8 million votes decided the winner of the poll out of 23 million accredited voters. Jamil Mobai examines why there was voter apathy in Katsina State. His report.
Katsina State is a stronghold for the ruling party APC, with more than 3 million registered voters. Yet, opposition won the state. Trust TV observed low voters turnout compared to previous elections.
I've been covering elections since 1999, but what I observe, the turnout is very low, very, very, very low. And even if you compare with the figures which INEC gave, that over 80 million have registered, but less than 21 million cast their vote. Actually, there is the issue of there are different factors. Highest level of poverty, the highest level of non-having a liquid cash with people. Nobody, it's only maybe who are near to the ballot box can track. Secondly, there is a nonchalant attitude. Some people, up to now, more especially in the north, here in the north, people have the belief that whether you do the election or you do cast your vote, whatever the government in power decide.
Residents complained bitterly on the late arrival of election materials. They waited for hours.
Like for my local government example, I come from Jibia local government, and the first thing that first disappoint us was, for INEC not to be able to provide the election material in time, and the election did not start in time. And due to what? Due to, as they said, the problem of passwording or unlocking the BVAS. It takes us about 12:30 to start election.
BVAS malfunction led INEC to resort to manual collection of election results. But opposition parties challenged the manual approach. They said it lacks merit and transparency.
Election will be transmitted there electronically to INEC server, and you can see a lot of manipulation at vote collation and even local government and state collation.
Experts believed there will be massive turnout during the upcoming gubernatorial election in less than 2 weeks. Jamil Mobai, Trust TV, Katsina.
And 8 days after the presidential election, the debate on its fairness and credibility is still raging. Kapil Lawa speaks to Abuja residents on their assessment of the election.
Until the drama at the International Conference Center, Abuja, venue of collation of Saturday's presidential election, many Nigerians believe the conduct was relatively peaceful and credible. A cross-section of voters in Abuja explained that the election was free and fair, as areas seen as stronghold were won by the opposition parties. They call on the president-elect to approach governance on conciliatory grounds and carry people along.
All the same, he has been clear winner. What do we need to do? All we need to do is to pray for him, for the success of Nigeria. If it is good for him, good for the country, it's good for all of us. And that's something I've noticed right from time. We always keep on complaining that the past leader is better than the present leader. For over right from the military era. Then what do we need to do? Let us go back to God.
As a citizen, we are supposed to vote. The only thing I will say to Nigerians is that even if there is an election again, let's just endeavor to vote. There is no harm in trying. As we have devoted our time to work for the peace of this nation, let's just continue like this. One day, someday, God may hear our prayer.
Others called on government to improve on the electoral processes by imploring the Independent National Electoral Commission to ensure upload of election results to its server on time.
It's not what Nigeria expected that they see. Because anybody that tell you that they are fine or is okay, that person is either is afraid or is lying. But the truth is that it's not what we expected and we saw. So it has come and go. We can't kill ourselves. Life goes on. I think you understand. So that's from my side.
The road to excellency means that you must follow an excellent way. Gone are the days that we should do anything anyhow because of our unborn children. And we are growing old, and we should leave a legacy for all the coming ones to tell them that our year is our year, our no is our no.
APC candidate Bola Tinubu was declared winner of the February 25th presidential election. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And now to Cross River State, where the police command in the state on Saturday paraded 16 suspects arrested for alleged electoral offences in Ogoja local government area of the state. The command's spokesperson, Irene Ugbo, who addressed newsmen while parading them, said the suspects were caught with firearms and ammunition during their arrest in Ogoja after the polls. Ugbo stated that the arrest followed a diligent manhunt for those that disrupted some voting centres in the council area during the election. The command spokesperson alleged that the suspects were found to have worked for a candidate during last Saturday's elections. Drama, however, ensued during the parade when some of the suspects said they were members of the All Progressives Congress and also vigilantes in their community in Obudu local government area. They also stated that they were never arrested in Ogoja but in Obudu without knowledge of the offence they committed. But Ugbo insists that the suspects will be arraigned in court next week. Meanwhile, troops of Sector 4 of Operation Whale Punch and Special Forces of the 167 Battalion have killed a bandit and rescued 14 kidnapped victims in Kaduna State. The troops, who embarked on a long-range fighting patrol in the general area of Chukwu local government area of the state, engaged and cleared a bandit's hideout during a fierce encounter in the location. Commissioner, Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan, disclosed this in a statement issued on Saturday. According to him, during the battle, the troops destroyed several camps and 2 motorcycles were recovered during the operation. He said Governor Nasir El-Rufai, who expressed his elation at the report, commended the troops and praised the leadership of Major General T.A. Lakbaja, GOC 1 Division and Force Commander of Operation Whale Punch. Now to the Naira redesign policy. The Supreme Court judgment on the policy is greeted in Yola, the Adamawa state capital, with mixed feelings, with financial experts saying the cashless policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria may not achieve its purpose of boosting the nation's economy. Silas Lowell has details.
The situation has been the new normal to Nigerians. Since the beginning of the cashless policy and withdrawal limit order of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Since the inception of the policy, many Nigerians spend day and night in their quest to get cash. These respondents, while sharing their experience from the time when the policy began, said they have suffered more than enough. While some say the Supreme Court order will help reduce losses of wealth, others say there is no need for the order because, according to them, the worst has already happened.
We didn't feel happy with what they are doing because we come with our different cases. They're supposed to know what people they have been waiting for them. They are our customer, and then they can reliable. They have to respect us. We stay outside for 5 days. We are waiting how to enter inside.
I'm from Abuja, and this is my second week coming to this bank on daily basis. Yet my mission to get cash to handle some family issues prove abortive. While we are in queue, you'll see some big men going straight to the banking hall, and the transfers are not effective.
Right from day one, I knew that the policy will be reversed because it have brought nothing but hardship to Nigerians. Look at me, I'm here since 4 a.m. on queue, trying to get some cash, but after this moment. The Supreme Court extending the lifespan of the old Naira note till the end of December may be a huge relief for many. While expressing concern over the Supreme Court order, a financial expert in Yola said despite the challenges and push by the Central Bank of Nigeria, the policy is geared toward modernizing the country's financial system.
They refuse to accept this policy. Yes. I think there should be that willingness by Nigerians to accept this policy. One of the reasons why you see this thing is still lingering this far is because people still believe that maybe after elections, things will still go back to normal. We must sit with the agreement that this thing has come to stay, is boosting our economy, and that we should agree that at all costs, this thing will not go back to normal again.
He said as Nigeria continues to embrace the shift toward digital payments, all stakeholders must work together to ensure a seamless transition and maximize the benefit that a cashless society can offer. Silas Lawan, Trust TV News, Yola.
And Lagos residents heave a sigh of relief as the Supreme Court of Nigeria ordered continuous circulation of the old Naira notes as legal tender to coexist with the new ones until December 31st. A cross-section of citizens in Lagos aired their views on the judgment by the Supreme Court.
Nigerians have endured weeks of long queues at banking halls and automatic teller machines owing to the Nigerian resign policy by the Central Bank of Nigeria that phased out the use of all 1,000 Naira, 500 Naira and 200 Naira bank notes. However, a landmark judgment, the Apex Court in the land on Friday, ruled the 3 bank notes remaining legal tender and should coexist with the new one till December 31st. Respondents who spoke with Trust Television in Lagos said the judgment will put an end to the hardship that Nigerians endure since the CBN announced the phasing out of the old bank notes.
I think this new update is going to favor everybody because the charges we pay on POS is just so absurd, and this is going to help us greatly. At least we'll stop paying charges on using 600 Naira to collect 2,000 Naira. So it's going to help us, help the whole Nigeria.
I think that's order that the Supreme Court gave is in favor of the masses. They are trying to look at the suffering that the masses will pass through. That is the reason why they have to say both the 500 and the 1,000 and 200 Naira should go alongside with the new Naira notes. That will help us, so that this suffering we are suffering today will not be much.
Some Lagos residents also urged that the relief should have come earlier, thereby saving Nigerians from the pains of the policy. They noted that some lives were lost and properties destroyed during protests against the policy.
Look at the stubbornness of the people all this while, ever since this policy came to existence. How many politicians did you see queuing up at the ATM machine or in the bank for them to get cash? It is the people that are suffering it. So with this judgment, we are happy and we don't expect anything less than for the Central Bank of Nigeria to immediately implement and enforce that judgment.
For me, I feel the hardship will reduce because practically, let me take myself for example, I was practically living like an orphan. It was hard to feed. Look at me, I've lost a lot of weight because I had money and I could not spend. But now with the new circulation of both the old and new Naira note, I feel, things will get better. People will be able to go about their daily lives like before. And, it will just be easier. I feel they could have just given all these updates before, rather than allowing us to go through all this stress, waste money to get money, go through all this hardship, and now they're coming. But we thank God for everything. At least now it will be better.
Nigerians have urged the central bank to immediately obey the judgment of the Supreme Court by making available banknotes for business transactions.
Stay with us on Trust TV News Update. Still ahead. We'll take a look at the probe of abduction of a high-profile politician. Details of this and more after the break. Stay with us. Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
Created a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure that day? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Or really, if you look at England squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now let's take another look at our top stories. INEC chairman holds meeting with Rex, promises use of BVAS in governorship and House of Assembly elections. And police parade suspected electoral offenders in Cross River. And in other news, the Lagos State government on Saturday opposed the request to exhume the remains of a student of Chrisland Schools, Whitney Omodeshola Adeniran, who died under mysterious circumstances. Her death occurred amid the school's inter-house sports on Thursday, February 9th at the Agege Stadium. According to a statement by the Director of Public Affairs, Lagos State Ministry of Justice, Alo Grace, Adeniran's death was as a result of asphyxia and electrocution, as indicated by an autopsy conducted by the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. The ministry noted that it was working closely with the police, which had reportedly given their reassurance that the duplicate case file would be forwarded on Monday, March 6, 2023, to the Directorate of Public Prosecution to aid the speedy issuance of legal advice. The National Oil Spills Detection and Response Agency, NOSDRA, says an investigation into Friday's explosion at Rumuekwe section of the Trans-Niger pipeline in Rivers is underway. The police in Rivers State had confirmed that no fewer than 10 people died on Friday following an explosion near the TNP in Rumekwe Rivers. Director General of Nostra, Idris Musa, told newsmen on Saturday that a joint investigative visit, JIV, to the site has been scheduled for Saturday to ascertain the cause of the blast and volume of crude spilled. The JIV is a statutory inquiry that follows every oil spill incident, consisting of representatives of the oil firm, regulators, the host community, and State Ministry of Environment. The TNP, operated by Shell Petroleum Development Company, evacuates crude oil from its oil fields to the Bonny Crude Oil Export Terminal. Meanwhile, 3 persons have died and 3 others injured following multiple auto crashes along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The Ogun State sector of the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRC, confirmed this on Friday in a statement by the Routes Commander and Public Education Officer Florence Okbe in Abeokuta. The injured victims were said to have been taken to a nearby hospital for medical attention, while the corpses were deposited at FOS Morgue, Ikbara. Meanwhile, the Ogun Sector Commander Ahmed Umar has commiserated with the families of the crash victims and also pleaded with the public to always drive defensively by anticipating the action of other drivers and observing road signs. And to politics now, where the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Gombe State, Muhammad Barde, has alleged that the state governor in Wayahaya is plotting to abduct him and 11 other members of the PDP to disrupt the conduct of the March 11th elections. The governorship candidate, who petitioned the governor, filed his complaints to the Nigeria Police and the Department of State Services and urged the security agencies to guarantee their safety. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
The PDP governorship candidate in Gombe State, Muhammad Barre, has in his petition accused the Gombe State governor of plotting to abduct him.
We are here specifically to report the plans by Governor Ino Mohammed to abduct myself and other party leaders and associates who are in the party. And we have it on authority that on 25th of March, after the 25th of February, after the presidential election, a meeting was held at the government house. 12 names were penciled down amongst the party stalwarts and my associates and other candidates in this election and myself to be abducted so that elections will not hold. This is reminiscent of what happened in 2019 elections that so many people are witness to. As law-abiding citizens, we deem it fit to come and write a petition, submit the petition to the Commissioner of Police. I came back from Abuja yesterday. I have submitted similar petition to the Inspector General of Police, to the Director General of the SSS, to also the National Security Advisor and the National Intelligence Agency Director General.
There have been a plan to create problem so that we cannot achieve the level of success we have attained in the past. That cannot happen. That's why we are here. We are here because we know that the police commissioner is working and he will listen to us and he has given us assurance, and come 11th of this month, everything will be in order.
Effort to get the police force to respond in an interview on the governorship candidate accusations against the governor was unfruitful. However, Gombe State government has since denied the allegations, describing the claims as baseless in a statement issued by Director General Press Affairs Ismaila Uba Misili. He called on security operatives to investigate the PDP's claim. Governor Inouye Yahya of the APC is contesting for a second term in office and will face 13 other governorship candidates in the March 11th elections in the state. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to depart Nigeria on Saturday for the 5th United Nations Conference on the Least Developed Countries, LCDs, in Doha. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, in a statement noted that the official trip follows an invitation by the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. According to Shehu, the conference will be held from March 5th to 9th under the theme From Potential to Prosperity. He added that the event holds once a decade and provides an opportunity to garner support for the international community to accelerate sustainable development in the LDCs, as well as assist them to make progress towards achieving prosperity. The summit will reportedly be attended by world leaders, the private sector, civil society, and youth organizations. And now for a look at the foreign scene, where Rwandan soldiers shot dead a Congolese soldier who crossed the border and shot at security forces on Friday, triggering a brief exchange of fire between the two sides, Rwanda's defense military said. According to already strained relations between the Central African neighbors have deteriorated sharply since the M23 rebel group launched a French offensive in eastern Congo in March last year, displacing over 600,000 people since. Congo accuses Rwanda of backing the Tutsi-led group. The United Nations, the United States, France, and other international powers have similar allegations. But Rwanda denies this and says it is being scapegoated for Congo's military incompetence. The incident at the border took place on Friday evening when the Congolese soldier crossed into western Rwanda from the Grande Berea border post outside the city of Goma and shot at Rwandan Defense Force soldiers, according to the ministry. And in sports, Novak Djokovic's 20-match win streak and the perfect start to 2023 came to an end on Friday when Daniil Medvedev won their Dubai Championship semi-final in straight sets. Medvedev came through 6-4, 6-4 and will face Russian compatriot Andrei Rublev, the defending champion, in Saturday's final. World number one Djokovic had been undefeated since claiming the season-ending ATP finals in November. He then went on to clinch the Adelaide title and a 10th Australian Open for a record equaling 22nd Grand Slam crown. However, Medvedev is also on a hot streak and arrived in the Gulf with titles in Rotterdam and Doha. The world number 7 has now racked up 13 successive wins after claiming just his 5th victory in 14 meetings against Djokovic. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. Don't forget, you can subscribe to watch us live on YouTube and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.